I'm wearing pink. We are live and I'm wearing pink. I never wear pink.
I guess you don't. And it doesn't look so super pink with the video.
No,
I've got on a fleece
not
tank.
only am I wearing pink, I'm wearing a skirt. So there's that.
Okay, you might need to do the chair stand for that
Let me see if I can stand up without like disrupting my entire message. See, I'm doing like the long, you can't see like the long
it's like a long skirt.
Yeah,
Got it.
like
I was
summer.
imagining the tennis. Oh, you're right. You know what? For me, I own no clothes, or I don't wear any clothes. So the minute you said skirt, I'm thinking it's a running skirt.
You know what? I never thought I'd see the day of me wearing dresses for casual relaxedness, because to me, a dress, regardless of its casualness, was dressing up. Like it could have been a tie-dye skirt, and in my mind, I was dressing up because it was a skirt. I was just always a jeans person. But now,
oh my gosh, no jeans here ever.
Like I've always jeans. Always jeans.
Oh, I cannot stay so uncomfortable.
And my kids are the same. They feel like you. But now I feel like, and maybe it's because my body has changed so much with weightlifting, I don't like pants of any kind.
Did you see someone tweet the other day that maxi skirts are just crotchless yoga pants?
I agree, and I love it.
Yes, that is true. But oh my gosh, no jeans. I mean, I am going somewhere, because if I've got on jeans, there's going to be heels.
See, and jeans are my, like, I feel like laid back and relaxed, and that's just what I wear all the time. But nothing fits me the same way anymore.
Oh, I never wear jeans. You know what I love? We'll do a shout out to a brand who doesn't know who we are, but Jen Goes Zen. Remember Jen? Big Fit blogging Jen.
Yes.
Very involved. She represents a company called Buskins, Buskins.
I don't know.
And they are the softest things I have ever touched.
I will have to
in
check
my
them
life.
out.
Like when I walk up the stairs in front of my daughter, she just rubs my bum. And she's like, funny. Mama, this is so soft.
So soft.
That's what I wear all the time now, are the buskins.
That's funny. I started to wear like the sundresses. I just throw a sundress. Yeah. I went out yesterday for lunch and I just threw on a sundress and I go, I feel like I'm out in my pajamas and I'm comfy and it looks like I'm dressed up and I'm not. And this is why did it take me 39 years to realize this?
That's me. Yes, sundresses.
Yes.
All right. I'm ready because we are with.
Yeah, we got to go. We're going to cut this one short.
Pick up at 1.
Okay.
You know what my thought was? I read this and I loved it. I do think we go through it because so much of it is wick. And then maybe if we each add one that's not on here that we plan to do this summer, and then we can kind of follow up with each other at the end of the summer.
Yes. Okay. Yes. All right. I love it. All right. I'll bring us in and bring a summertime thing, because I'm going to call this one Summertime's Easy, because I keep having that Sublime song in my head. Do you know that song? Summertime.
Oh my gosh. No, because you know what I'm probably thinking of? Go ahead and say it. Bring us in, and I think it's a different one.
Oh, well then I can't. Well, maybe I'll wait.
You have to sing the
I have to get that's what I'm trying to get in my head before I start it. Summertime and the living season. Okay, ready?
Oh yeah, maybe it's okay, go.
Summertime and the living season. Yeah, that one. Okay, we're on 23, right? Yes. Okay, 23. Welcome to the Wick Wick Podcast, episode 23.
Okay, I would like to start it with you singing.
Oh, no.
You said, for the people that watch, because we do a YouTube video behind the scenes, which is like, if this is an overshare, I don't even know what we call the behind the scenes video, but you said, I'm embarrassed. My husband actually works for Pandora, the music company. I'm horrible with music. Sublime, no, that's a group.
Yes. So yes, it's a group. Well, and it's old, early 90s group, and the lead singer overdosed in 96. Right before.
Who was the lead singer?
Oh, his name was Brad. I don't know.
I want to find out who that is.
You won't know. No, you won't know who he is if you don't know who Sublime is. But anyway, the reason why I named this week's podcast Summertime and the Living's Easy is because of there's a song he does, and they're kind of like ska, reggae.
I love ska.
Summertime, very 90s alt. Like I'm
a Real Big Fish, all that. Like
yes, if you know
about that with I probably know Sublime.
You probably know Sublime, but there's one song and it starts off with it's summertime and the living's easy.
Do you know what that's from? It's from
a musical. I don't.
That's what I was thinking of, because I'm trying to think, and we need a listener or viewer.
Maybe it's they do a lot of remakes.
Summertime and the living is. I cannot sing. But that's from a musical. It's the same song. See, we come together opposite ends.
It might be. I need to look that up because I'm not sure it's the same song. But they do cover a lot of reggae-esque music and then made it kind of their own sound, like very I think they were from LA. They're definitely West Coast. What that
I
kind of
must
West
have heard
Coast summer sound.
I loved ska. Do people still love ska?
It's so funny that you say that because I shared a few weeks ago on Facebook.
I saw that.
Yes, Ryan gets to pick an instrument for 5th grade next year, and his music teacher recommended he pick come with two, and then the first week they can kind of try both out, and then they can focus in on one for the year. And I'm so excited because he said, "Oh, I think I want to play the trumpet," and I immediately went, "Oh my gosh, we got to listen to my boss tones."
Yes,
oh my gosh, we got to listen to Real Big Fish because I don't think he thinks trumpet, he thinks jazz band, he thinks orchestra, like he thinks like.
Oh, interesting.
I'm like, no. There's really fun music and so we've been listening actually to a Pandora's. I based a Pandora station on Real Big Fish, and a Spotify station on my boss tones. And so when we're cleaning around the house, we've been listening to and every time one of my favorite songs come on, I'm like, listen, do you hear that? That's the trumpet. When you learn how to play the trumpet.
Such a good point. Yes, because it seems like I was a clarinet player. I always wanted to date the trumpet players, but it's boring. I mean, it's jazz. It's Benny Goodman. It's like
for a young kid, I was like,
that
when you
makes
put on ska, like, and not old Jamaican ska, but like alternative ska. Even Evan, the 4-year-old, he just kind of bobs his head. Like he just I'm like, oh, they like it.
When we had our personal training studio, because it was 94, I would play ska all the time because it was like that in between. Most of my clients wanted like gangster rap because it motivated them. I'm like,
thing, then, yeah.
Can't do the motherfucker. So we got to do.
Now I have to mark this one explicit.
Oh, that's so funny. And I just heard the Gilmore guys talk about that, how they accidentally drop F-bombs.
Yeah, and I'm like cursed like a truck driver anymore. I don't know what's wrong with me. I feel like as I got older, my filter, like I have the filter is leaving me, and I find myself, I catch it, and then I'm like, I want to curse, and then I use a different word.
Or is it because actually the filter should go back on? I feel like I'm super rushed a little bit, but getting into the groove. I'm so glad it's summer. I feel like I have the gift of time because there's no homework at night, but it feels like I'm a little bit still getting used to it and a little bit still playing catch up.
With summer?
With life. Just with life? Wait, what? Like,
yeah, it's funny because you should, like, there's a carryover from your childhood where it's like, hey, summer break, and I don't have anything to do. But really, as adults, not much changes.
No, and I think that's what it is. And it kind of goes into what we were going to talk about this week with, I mean, it's so unbelievably trite, but I still find at 46 next month, I think every summer, wait, shouldn't I have the summer off?
Yeah, I sometimes often wonder why I wasn't a teacher.
But then there's that. I mean, I think about my dad was a college professor.
So was I.
But he still worked in the summer.
I always worked summer classes.
Because you needed to.
Yeah, you have to balance out your workload, and then you end up picking up a class or two in the summer, or they need you to because there's no adjuncts. Or when I was at community college, I think 8 years or 6 years. I don't know, 6 or 8 years. And I know I never had a full summer. I never took a full summer off. I never.
Now, did you have to work? Like we had to work as a kid as soon as we babysit until we turned 16, and then we had to get a job. And I remember when I was younger, I babysat. I'm not a big kid lover. Like they're fine. But then I watched, I mean, I love my own, but I'm not my 9-year-old.
You're not one of those baby people that want to work at a daycare.
No,
I know exactly what you
mean. My 9-year-old already is like, I hope I have 4 babies.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Yeah, some people are baby people.
So I babysat, but I knew I had to get a job. And I watched my older sister, I think we talked about this, work at Wendy's. She managed a Wendy's eventually and stank when she came home. Yes. So at least back when we were younger, I knew I had to work. I lifeguarded. I taught swimming lessons. It was like fun stuff. So as big people, we should get to switch jobs in the summer. Just
that would be fun.
Something all fun.
Yeah, I never had a summer. I mean, once I started working at 14, and because I was always kind of a worker bee.
And what did you do at 14?
At 14, I worked at a bagel shop, like a sandwich bagel shop, and I made sandwiches and coffees. And they had this old it was like pre-Starbucks, but they had like the espresso machine with the frother on the side, and I would make cappuccinos.
Now, were you under the table? Did you lie and say you were 16?
No, I had working papers. So in Pennsylvania, you can get at 14, you were allowed to get your parents to sign working papers, and you were allowed to work. I
grew up in Pennsylvania too. I'm surprised my parents didn't make me get papers.
I asked for them because I wanted money. I was very self-motivated because I was like, my mom didn't have money to give me anyway. So I was like, I want to do things with my friends and go to the movies, and I wanted to do all this stuff. And I was like, I need a job. I need money. And it's funny because Ryan has that, or I could see it in him already, because he'll come to me and go, how can I earn $5? I really want to buy a new Minecraft thing. And I'm like, okay, well, clean the bathrooms.
That's his default. Like, how can I earn?
Yes, but I have that inherent. So I think he was just kind of born with it, which is kind of cool. But I worked at the bagel shop, and I remember, I will never forget this. At that time, minimum wage was $4.25. This was 1991 or 92, 91 or 92, somewhere in there. Minimum wage was $4.25, but the bagel shop owners put me under training for 3 months, and so I only made $3.85 for the first 3 months because I was a trainee, and then I made $4.25.
Isn't it funny to think how it's so like every sitcom, whatever, but I remember having that moment of getting the first paycheck and seeing all the taxes and that realization. Although that's probably why I wanted to babysit, get it under the table.
You know what, though, as a self-employed person, and you will appreciate this, I miss that because I kind of trained myself to just look at the, wait, is it net or is it gross? What is it? Yes. Whatever the one is that you, whatever that is.
I'd say net.
I ignored everything else and just looked at my take home, and I got used to that. And then when you work for yourself and you have to like write a check to the government, you're like, holy crap, this is sucks.
Yes, I know. So I'm voting that we get to do, it would seem like super fun if I could just lifeguard all summer or teach swimming lessons or.
Yeah. I talk a lot about, like, I even told the husband, there's a little sandwich shop down the end of the road where we live, and they've been looking for counter help forever. And I said to him, I go, what if I just got a part-time job, like working the counter at the sandwich shop? And he's like, you would hate that. I'm like, actually, I think I would love it.
I think you would too.
I'm very, I need an outlet. I need people around me. And I mean, I told you, didn't know you talked about this on a podcast. I worked at McDonald's for 5 years.
Yes.
Yes. I didn't hate it. I wouldn't have been there for 5 years if I hated it.
And I think we might have hated it or not loved it as much in my, like when I was 30. But at now my age, I would think like, oh, meeting people, this is interesting. Aren't people fascinating? Let's have another conversation, because it gives you that interaction.
Yes. I feel like I think some people just, to me, I never shied away from work. Like, to me, it's not, there's certain things that don't even feel like work that other people, like my husband, again, if he could, he would sit around and watch TV all day. That would drive me insane. I couldn't do it. I need to be productive. And even if that means, working on a counter at a deli, I feel like it passes the time. I interact with people. Like, that's what life's about, isn't it? It's like you feel accomplished, you do something. So
I say to my best friend all the time from college, who's known me for like 27 years, I just, sometimes I just wish I didn't have to work. And she lets me get it all out. And then she's like, yeah, you'd be doing the same thing.
Exactly. I always say that. I'm like there's the Office Space reference. So we talk, I don't know. Have you seen Office Space?
Yes.
Okay. So that's one of my favorite movies, because when that came out, I worked in an office very similar, and it's just it was very relevant to my stage of life when that came out and my career path. And there's a question in there, like, if you had $1 million, like, what would you do?
Yes, I ask myself that
all the time.
I asked myself that this morning.
Yes. And so the husband sides with Peter Gibson, the main character which is, I would do nothing. I would do nothing all day. And I would be doing the same exact thing I'm doing right now. I'd be blogging, I'd be photographing, I'd be taking photos. I would just have no stress.
I think that same thing. And I don't even know, I was going to say I'd be with your husband for a day, but I still think I would go do something.
Yeah, no. I mean, I guess theoretically I would do, I don't know. I can't imagine myself doing it. He talks a lot about retirement, which I'm glad he does. I kind of I don't see myself stopping work. Like, I would be engaged in something. I want to be comfortable and not have to worry about it, but I don't see myself,
and especially what we do
all day.
Like, if I worked in an office, I would not see myself still going to the office, but doing what we do, I think, yeah, I'm not going to stop.
Yes, because in a really weird way, I already feel retired. Isn't that strange?
No.
I mean, I work my butt off, but yet it's all things I want to be doing. So I feel very blessed. But anyway.
I know. It is that digression. Yes, I know. And that kind of goes back to, let me see if I could pull up our article. You probably already have it up.
I am ready. We are talking summer, which is like
and
my
I think
favorite time of year.
Even if, because I was thinking as I was reading it this morning, it's the 11 mindful tips, how to do summer, even if you're fully busy. This was me before kid. It's nothing to do. Yes, I think summer gives us that longer days and it's warm outside and all of a sudden it's over and we've worked all summer. So children, no children, it's all the same.
It is. Although I think before children, I don't know. I was not a seizer before children. Do you know what I mean? Like seize things, taking opportunities. I wasn't a seizer until I had kids. So it's hard for me to compare things now and then because I'm kind of in a different place.
I know I went out. Like I would think, oh my gosh, it's going to be late until 9. I'm going to wherever, whatever, to sit outside and like some bar and hang out.
I don't remember what I did before I
I know.
Is that bad?
I think it's because we've moved so much. Because I think I was living in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and it was so beautiful at night, and we would sit outside. And so I think summer can be gone so quickly, which is why I love this article, that these mindful tips about embracing it, even when you're busy, seem like super wick.
Yes, I agree. Yes, the official title of the article is 11 Tips, How to Do Summer Right. I like that.
And I love Elephant Journal.
You know what?
Where this is from.
I'm not sure I've ever been on Elephant Journal before.
I really love, so that's my shout out to Elephant Journal. It's one of those, and I know we're going to talk soon, I hope, about meditation and the different forms. Yes. They are touchy-feely without being
touchy-feely. Yes, I know, which is we should bridge into meditation. But let's get to this article. So they're giving 11 tips on how to do summer right, and why is it very wick?
Well, I'm a little bit questioning now, Ronnie, if we have the same article up, because mine says 11 mindful tips, how to do summer fully, even if you're busy.
We have 2 different articles. That's awesome. This is the article I read. Wait, let me see if I can find yours.
Yeah, mine is 11 mindful tips, how to do summer fully, even if you're busy. So it felt super wick.
Oh no, it's the same article, but then underneath
the don't drive, the bring your work. Okay, that's what it was. You know, when I first found it, I kind of skimmed through the tips. And I thought, that is super wick. They're number one of, if you have to drive less. And they weren't even saying, which I adored, it almost was the swap mentality of what you can, when you can. Get on a bus, walk if you can, bike to work. I mean, it was moving more, but some of it was just change it up. It was
basically just change. I was going to say, is just think of another way to transport yourself this summer instead of just hopping in your car as your default, which is what we talk about in the book all the time. Like we just have that default. And I like it because when I go on vacation, one of my favorite things to do is not have a car.
Yes.
Because I feel like, and now again, it really depends on the style vacation you're going on. But when I go to we go to the Jersey Shore every year, we're Jersey Shore people. We park the car and we don't move it for 7 days. We walk.
Love that.
It's so, I do the same thing when I travel to a city. If I'm scoping out things for a venue for FitBlogging, or if I'm any city I go to. It
shocks me when people rent cars, because I have a friend coming to Austin next week and he said, do you want to meet up? And he's like, I'll have a car. And I thought,
oh yeah, I avoid car rentals as much as possible. And it forces you kind of in a way to go, how are you, like, for example, 2 years ago, I took Ryan on a 4-day kayaking trip in Utah on the Green River. And it was like a tour group or whatever, but we had a day buffer before and day buffer after. And I figured out the flights and we flew to, it was Vernal, Utah. It was like a very tiny airport. And I could have gotten there, rented a car, parked it in the thing while we were on the tour, and then had a car. But I said, no, what we did was the hotel that we were staying at was about a mile from the airport. We literally got off this little puddle jumper, walked with our luggage, which I forced him to only carry a backpack, myself too. So we were like truly like backpacking it. And we walked from the airport to the hotel, which was after a flying all day was needed in a weird way.
Yeah, yes.
And then we walked to the meetup where, I mean, of course, this worked out because I chose a hotel that was close to where we needed to meet up. And but still, we're talking about distances that were, most people would defaultly drive like a mile from the airport. No, people aren't going, I'll just walk a mile. It feels like that mile seems insurmountable for most, what's that word I'm looking for? Insurmountable for some people.
Yes. Yeah. And it's I mean, I guess my first thought was it forces you to be so much more present, mindful, maybe not. Now, I'm one who, when I'm driving in a strange city, is super on high alert, like, where am I? But thinking about him, because he would have just maybe pulled out the electronics, maybe tuned out in the car, that he's forced to be present and mindful.
It's true. I feel like for me, traveling is it's a break from the norm, right? So I want to be more present. I have a car every day. I drive to the gym. I drive to the grocery store. I driving my kids to their friend's house. When I'm on vacation, to me, driving is one of those things that I do in my everyday life. Let's find out. So that's the article in that sense is kind of like, look, it's summer, change it up. See if you can get someplace without driving. And I think it does make you more mindful and kind of just more conscious that there are other options, which then you can apply kind of wick post fact, like, you know what, that grocery store is only a mile away. Let's bring a cart and we'll walk it this time, and kind of that gets on your radar in a way.
And if you're doing it, I mean, I think it's so hard, and I'm looking at our summer, and I don't know if we're doing vacations, but if I had an office and I'm like, I'm going to take the bus in the summer, I'm getting off the stop earlier and I fit in that fitness. Like you said, I don't pull into my parking lot. I'm getting off at the bus stop and I get more steps.
It almost gives you more options. Like you just kind of open yourself up to more options if you just take that initiative. So yeah, I think that's a really cool. And they even say in the article, do anything you can to get yourself outside with nothing over your head, no car, roof, but sky and trees and sunshine. That's so sweet.
I like and kind of jumping out of order, and again, this is my perspective of thinking, not all of us can take a vacation in the summer, or maybe we're working through the summer, to make gaps within your busyness. And this is definitely something we touch upon a bunch in the book, but some of it is the basic, don't check your phone while driving, walking, or biking. But most powerful to me, and for some reason this seems easier to do, especially if you live somewhere where it gets super cold in the winter, and everything seems just really closed up because of the cold, that when it's nicer out and the days are longer, allow gaps in your day instead of filling them. Gaps to look around in traffic, gaps to look at the sky, gaps to look at the trees, gaps just to look at whatever's around you. Gaps provide space for relaxation, appreciation, and insight. And for me, I thought the rest of that sentence is, and that's a vacation. Just right in that short, it doesn't need to be, it's great, a big, I'm going
3-week European vacation.
Yes, I'm going to Italy. Yeah. But yes, it's being mindful can be a vacation in of itself. So I loved that.
It's true. And I'm feeling a challenge coming on. I think we should challenge our readers or listeners. I keep calling everyone on the podcast readers.
I know, that's me.
It's such a leftover from blogging, but I'm thinking one of the things that I do, and I'm becoming the master at it, to be honest, is quote unquote forgetting my phone.
Yes. Yes.
And I've talked about this, and I do this a lot, and it's funny because I've even I'm forcing myself to self-identify as a quote unquote bad phone person. And I say, I'm a bad phone person. So if I don't get back to you, just know I forgot my phone somewhere, or the ringer's off, or whatever. So I
love that it manages expectations as well.
I feel like we should challenge people this summer to forget their phone on an outing, whether it be like even just dinner at a restaurant with your friends, or like if you're going to the park with your kids, or, whatever stage or area you're in your life, but just consciously, I mean, everyone forgets their phone now and then, but I mean, consciously, before you walk out the door, look at your phone and go, not going to bring you, and put it away. And I know
that's a vacation. I think it's so hard. People get frustrated. They can't take trips, and it seems like everyone else is traveling, and it's redefining vacation.
Yes. And I feel like travel, I started a travel blog called The Unworldly Travelers, and it's sad because I never blog there, but its goal was to me to get out and travel more and kind of have a reason to do it, because I want to blog about it. And so it would help me kind of push me out and say, no, you need to go somewhere and travel. And I wrote a post and I've defined travel, that it's not like, hey, I went to this new city, or I got my passport, I went to this new country, or I went on a cruise. It's like, I did something out of my norm today. I went to a restaurant I've never went to before. I purposely sought it out. Things like, I feel like that's the travel mindset. And I think something as simple as saying, I'm going to take a walk with my spouse or partner and not bring the phone. It's something so small, but it's kind of can reap big rewards. You can reap big rewards from that.
Oh my, and I'm embarrassed to say that my child will see something cool and she'll be shocked when I don't have my phone because I grab it. I don't know why. I think I'm going to have some kind of an emergency, and it's because it's not to be buried in it, but she's just.
I know people have this is my logic, but I will fully admit that I don't have that gene where I worry about things. So I'm pretty laid back overall, but I know people have that fear of, well, what if something happens and I don't have my phone? This is what I would like to say. We
went so long without phones.
Yeah, there's that, which I don't even want to bring up because then you sound like an old crouchity get off my lawn person. But no, I was thinking more of, we live in a society where everyone else has phones. Oh, and so if there truly was an emergency,
yeah, you're right.
You could find a friendly person around you and go, look, I really have to call my husband. My son broke his leg on the playground.
You're so right.
So I feel like sometimes we use those things, that fear-based, and that we could probably pull that out of an old podcast episode, as an excuse. We kind of allow ourselves to go, well, no, I can't go without the phone because what if an emergency happens? Well, it's like, well, you'll deal with the emergency with the resources that you have available. Your phone actually doesn't make that much of a difference. What if your battery dies? What if you drop it and it cracks? What if, I mean, there's so many what ifs, I think, in today, but we latch on to one almost as a reason kind of not to push ourselves out of our comfort zone. But I think forgetting your phone is pushing yourself out of your comfort zone if you're one of those people that are attached to your phone. Not everyone.
And it goes back to what you have talked about so much that I love about the food and consuming consciously. And you may not initially change your habits, but you're conscious of just what you're doing. Because for so long, the phone was default for me. And now when I grab it, it's a choice.
Yes.
I'm like,
yeah, because
she's not here. She's at camp. Something could happen. But it's not reflexive, because I'm embarrassed that it was reflexive for so long that she would say, I want to take a picture of this, and just be stunned if I didn't have it.
Right.
Which is not who I want to be.
My friends would, I mean, my kids would be stunned. I'm not sure. I should one day ask them I don't know if they think mommy's a phone person. It's going to be.
Because we're the picture people. She likes to snap pictures of everything.
Yeah, so we are too. Yes, we do. It's really sad that the 4-year-old will say, he's like, Mommy, he'll put like a piece of broccoli in his mouth. He's like, take a picture of me.
Oh my gosh, I know that's there. And yes, that is their fault.
So funny.
Okay, I love your challenge. And my challenge to myself kind of goes along the same lines as that, because I read these 11, and so much of them are ones that we've already talked about.
Can I bring up the number 4? Because I think this one's super hard for people.
Oh, interesting, because that's not hard for me. At number 5, I thought would be hard for people.
Cancel your Netflix plan for the summer. I think that's I'm just kind of intrigued by that, because I feel like, well, first, I'm so bad that I may even watch TV less, but not cancel. And then I'm spending money on something I'm not using anyway. Yes, so there is that. So if it's not a challenging thing for you, maybe this is kind of one of those things to get on your radar. Like, hey, I could save $24 this summer if I just canceled. So there's that. But then I think for other people, like, for example, the husband, this would never fly with the husband. Like, I've been trying to convince him to cancel our cable for 2 years. And he's like, no, I need. So he's very much I need access to my media at all times kind of person. So I think canceling your Netflix is
I like in that same one how they say, because sometimes it feels like, and this is the basis of small steps to big things. Seems like some of the bigger fitness outlets might say, cancel your cable and enroll in CrossFit and go to the box every day.
Oh, you mean
I like the option was read by the river. So it's not saying cancel your Netflix and now you have to get out of the house and run 10 miles a day, or get out of the house and become Miss Social. It's just change it up. Cancel your Netflix, and their option was get a book, read outside.
Right. Something simple that doesn't
change enough. It's not a huge leap, but it's change and mindful.
I was going to say, it reminds me of last week with they're constantly pushing their new levels on us.
Yes. Yeah. And it's like baby steps. And it's what we always laugh about, that I see on a daily basis on Twitter, a big outlet saying, small steps to health, sleep for an extra hour. I'm like, whoa, that's a lot
of, I can't just grab an extra hour, or I'd be doing a lot of other things.
I know. So I loved that. It was cancel your Netflix, find a book, take it to the park. that felt really doable to me. More
Yes.
mindful perhaps, but super doable. And I love number 5. I thought this was a fun one because of the small step. It says, don't eat anything directly out of a package for a week.
Yes.
It did not say, which I thought was really interesting. And Ronnie, I did not get the first time I saw it. I read it as don't eat anything packaged processed for a week, but that wasn't what it says. It just says plate it. Don't eat it out of the package.
Yes.
Yes. And I thought that is something we can all do. Keep your Captain Crunch. Put it in a bowl.
Put it in a bowl. It's like the
Be
baby
mindful.
step of
Yes.
maybe possibly weeding out the packaged foods altogether. But you're right. It's something, I think there was a challenge a while ago where it was like eat real food, or I don't know, one of those eat real food Whole30 challenges. And I kind of made mine more, it's not eat only that, but eat more of that. Like, so
Yes.
it makes it much more exciting. Like when we've talked about this before too, like and you're very similar. If someone tells me I can't eat any of these things, it backfires. But if someone says, hey, let's challenge each other just to eat more of these Whole30 foods, how many more can you put in your diet? Then it feels so much more accessible and attainable and then what happens is slowly you eat less of everything else. And then you move more towards eating only Whole30 or whatever. I'm using that as an example, but
yes. But if you're eating the Fritos and you're plating them, that's a small step to actually mindfully eating them.
Yes.
And then maybe nothing against the Fritos, looking at them and thinking, is this really what I want? Maybe it is, but maybe it's not. And I loved the baby step.
Yeah, because I am one of those mindless eating out of a bag people. So it's one of those conscious things. When you're aware of it, yes, I like it.
Well, and I love to riff off what you just said, because you've shared this on social media, let's say Facebook. Sometimes it happens, but it's the awareness. It's, you know what? I'm getting that bag of whatever, and I'm going to sit on the couch and I'm going to love this. And I'm going to embrace it.
I did that yesterday.
I saw that. I did. It's like, being aware.
Yes. I'm like, I really want ice cream right now, and I'm not going to give myself a guilt trip. I want to go with the kids. We got ice cream. We go to, I call it ice cream, but it's really yogurt, but whatever. They have those yogurt shops where you get toppings. And normally I always go smart and I pick the fruit and I get the sherbet, but I was like, no, yes. I want chocolate. I got chocolate and coconut, and I topped it with chocolate and more coconut.
And I think that we can that feels really mindful to me, because you're with the kids, you're out of the house. It's like what you've talked about, not keeping it in the house, that there's so many little steps of mindfulness, as they say in the article, but we can create mini vacations when you put those damn Fritos on a plate and you take them outside with a glass of sparkling water or wine or whatever it is.
It's true.
And you're present.
It's like, it reminds me of their s'more. I mean, if you bring out the s'more ingredients, the whole graham cracker, chocolate, marshmallow, and you have kids, it's an adventure for them to make s'mores. Yes. And it's such a little thing. Like, it's like one of those summer things where you, like, if you grill, we're like, oh, we'll make s'mores. And it's like, the kids got it right? They make it an event. Mm-hmm. It's this thing, and it's exciting. It's outside of our daily thing. We don't make s'mores every day. And it's so much, I don't know, you appreciate it more, you value it, you get the time with your family to make them, and then you get this treat. And that is, to me, in stark comparison, it's at the right, like at the opposite end of that is going in your pantry and grabbing a bag of whatever and sitting
and standing in front of the pantry and eating it,
throwing it in your mouth, which is what I used to do, right? So, and the same thing with, like, I would say 10 years ago, yesterday we went out and did the yogurt thing and made an event, but 10 years ago I would have, on my way home from work, bought a pint of Ben & Jerry's and sat in front of the TV with a spoon and just went to town on that thing, and then I would have played a game with myself, or I'm just gonna make it flat on the top. I don't know if this makes any sense.
Yes.
And then I would dig it deeper and deeper, and then I would hit a point where I went, well, I ate this much, I might as well finish it.
Yes. And I love how even this thing, even if you're still eating the Ben & Jerry's, you've scooped it into a bowl and you're outside. It's summer and you've removed the roof over your head, and kind of, unless you have your iPad in your lap, you're forced to be a little more mindful. Reading that paper book, or I guess a book on your iPad, you have to be a little more engaged than inside couch TV. It's true. And I feel like that's that baby step. Like, that's the baby step to making a different choice next time. Or, it's just that you're on that gradient
journey that those little things will change really drastically over time. Yes. Well, the article was much more wick than I anticipated, actually.
Oh, it's totally wick for me. And I laugh that I'm the one who this week needs to cut it short with the podcast because it's summer and the child is getting out of camp.
The fact that we, for the last 3 weeks, have posted podcasts,
I know,
is pretty impressive with our schedules right now.
But my goal for the whole summer is, and I want to check back on this at the end, is keeping eye contact. I really think I do a good job with that, but I've noticed with my daughter, and it's every single kid and every single human, but of course they don't feel like you're listening. Even if you are, if you're not finding that gap, I need to create those gaps. And when she's talking to me, stare in the eye. And it's harder because she's around so much more.
No, I agree. I'm the same thing with, and when you have kids and they want to tell you things and you're not.
I tell you everything.
Yes, but I had that quote, and maybe we'll build a podcast around that, about paying attention to the little things, because to them they're big things, and then when they're older, the big things will be big things, and then they won't trust you if you didn't listen to the little things. If that made sense to anyone, but
oh my gosh, it is so true. And I've noticed, she hasn't said it, but her whole body physicality, and good gosh, she's around a lot more, is different when I'm staring her straight in the eye and she's telling me about the lizard she saw in the backyard.
Yes,
that's my goal for Mindful Summer.
I don't have a goal for Mindful Summer yet, besides leaving my phone places.
Oh, that's a pretty good one.
Yes. Well, not leaving it at home while I go to places. Leaving myself at places when my phone is not there.
I like that challenge for everyone who is listening. Tweet, Instagram, blog, share, comment if you're joining in and how it's going.
Just like, yeah, I think we should have on a social media, a trend of like, I left my phone, or I left my phone and went to blank.
Yes.
And then we can kind of get all inspired by where all like even the mundane places people are going. Like, I left my phone and I don't know, went to get the mail. That's the most mundane thing.
You're right. I grab the phone even when I walk the dog. Because what am I doing? Why am I grabbing it? And it's what you said. There are other people around. There are other houses around. And that's a habit I'd like to build up, is not bringing it with me.
And think of the example you're setting for your kids. Because I think about that too. Like I have to say that's the thing that keeps me from looking at the phone in the car more. Is that when the kids are in the car, it's not, and I'm going to be really honest, it's not the safety thing. I know some people that it's like, oh, I would never read my text messages because my kids are in the car and their safety is the utmost. I get that. I'm not saying that's bad. But honestly, what drives me is I don't want my kids to see me texting, like looking at my text messages in the car, and then I'm normalizing it. That's
even at stoplights. I won't do it for that reason, because it'll ring.
Okay, that's my challenge. That's my challenge.
Okay, I can't, because I'm fearful of. Then she'll say to me, even when she's 16, "Oh no, I won't use the phone in the car." But that to her won't include all these things that she's seen me do.
Oh yes. This is my challenge: not to use the phone at all in the car, even at red lights.
Okay,
I'm on that. I'm on that.
And I will leave my phone home. Okay, on that challenge note, I need to go and get in the car without my phone and drive to camp.
Oh, you have to drive? You can't walk anymore.
No, I'm driving up to camp without my phone because she will be there and I don't need a phone.
Okay. I have one super quick one, Wicker of the week, and then we'll
yes, I actually have one too. Okay.
Okay. If you have a moment, because we can only do one, but I feel like it feels not finished to not have a Wicker.
I know.
Okay, so my Wicker of the week is from Instagram, and she posted a quote, and I had to dig it up really fast. And I love this, and I retweeted it when I saw it on Twitter. It's from Kitty Loaf Designs. So it's KITTYLOAF Designs is her Instagram account, and she posted this. You retweeted it too. People who wonder whether the glass is half empty or half full miss the point. The glass is refillable. I love that. I'm just going to leave that out there. Let people ponder it.
I think I was the one that shared that. Was that?
I think you did. I think I saw her. I saw you share it, and then I dug her up, and now
is that not so powerful?
Love that. Yes, because sometimes we think about all the arguments people have. Oh, optimist, pessimistic, blah, blah. Who cares?
That blew my mind. Yes.
You wake up every day and you get another chance at it. Go.
I'm not even adding my Wicker of the week. I'm going to save it.
We're going to end on that?
So true. Yes.
Perfect.
Our glass is refillable. Be mindful. Have a fantastic summer. Forget your phone.
And we will be back next week. We are not taking a summer break. So.
No, we're taking a week break and that's about it. Woohoo! Summer vacation.
All right. Bye, guys. Thanks for listening.
Wick, wick.
Wick, wick. All right. Go, go, go. Sorry, we kept you 5 minutes
Was that
late.
too much of us in there, do you think? I don't think it was.
No, it's like every other podcast we ever do.
That's
We
good.
just chat. Last week was all us. We didn't bring anything in last week.
And I think it was pretty good.
Oh, actually, I listened to it 3 times. Once when I edited it, and then I on it again when I posted it. So bad.